Alright, so back in space we are.
Lilac sector.
Qwark, come in. Do you read me?
It's good to hear your voice, Ratchet. They've got us in these containment cells and they're coming with food. Oh, thank heaven they're coming with tap water? You animals.
Hey, now,
Listen to
in
me. I
some
need you
parts
to
of,
activate the nav beacon
at
on
least
your
over
belt.
here in
Can
the
you do
States,
that?
tap water can be very good.
Good. Now hang tight. I'm on my
Especially
way.
if the government adds fluoride or something. I don't know. Anyway, here's your new fancy gimmick for this game that blows away everything from the past one. Instead of actually pointing from planet to planet and having the recycled animation of a ship, going in space to mask the loading screen, now you have free roaming. Sure, it's located in small pockets that are basically the sectors of the galaxy. But it's still quite something, actually. You have a couple of things to do, even some side quests to boot. So, right now, for example, you're supposed to go to Lord Vorselon's ship to save Qwark and the others, but let's just take our time to actually look around. And I can change the radio in the meantime to hear about, different things, including returning characters that do talk about things. Forgot if it's in this part or another, for example, there's a commercial for Big Al's new shop, for example. So
this is like Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
kinda, I guess.
And I guess the radio is their way of saying, look, guys, we totally didn't forget about these characters after
Honestly,
all.
I'll take that.
Okay. I'd probably have said it before, but again, one of my issues with the future games is, again, similar to one of my issues with the later Ace Attorney games, how they kinda play toy box with a lot of their characters. It's like a kid who's intrigued with their toys, but then pretty much just puts them away at a moment's notice. Again, it's most starring with Talon, who is a character created not just for the future saga, but to apparently be Ratchet's new love interest. Literally just backs out of the plot at the last minute.
If you're
on
wondering
this
about
one.
Kronk and Zephyr, then we'll have a cameo in the credits. So.
Nice, yeah.
Anyway, most of the missions, including, for example, side ones, will consist into something simple, like, say, defeat these amount of ships. They're practically similar to how space combat was in the previous games, just in this more, 2D axis streamlined way instead of actually going full 3D with maneuvers. It's a bit, more focused, admittedly, so you're lost the maneuverability, but fine, it's a compromise.
Oh, yeah. Qwark, just be patient. Lord knows, Ratchet and Clank have shown Qwark so much patience over these years.
So, interestingly enough, instead of actually getting inside the ship, we have to gently maneuver from the outside, including having to pay attention to the engines.
I don't know.
Right
It's a
then.
big cell with some sort of containment field. Oh, and it smells like my high school gym locker.
There you go.
Maintain radio silence. I'll contact you.
Yeah, there you go. Do you see the mechanic where Ratchet's Omni Wrench is used to magnetically repeat something or pulling and pushing stuff? But from Quest for Booty is returning, properly. Some of the other stuff, as usual, like the gravity boots or the O2 mask, are already staple, in your arsenal, so you don't have to worry about those. Again, it's that kind of weird thing where some of the very basic stuff, compared to Metroid, even some of the basic stuff is actually there instead of you having to collect every single minute thing from the get-go. It's kind of like if a Metroid game started already with a ball mode on, basically. Well, admittedly, in Dread, the more recent games, in order to actually defy expectations, they had the ball mode being acquired quite later on, admittedly, for the standards of a Metroid game. So,
I guess that may have been part of them wanting to mix things up
basically,
a bit.
yes. In order to not tread, it's the same reason why Ridley isn't there, but Kraid is, defying expectations.
I still do think eventually they're gonna bring Ridley back, either in like the new Prime game or probably in a new game where somehow he regenerates from
Somehow
whatever was
Ridley
left from him
returned.
that burn. I mean, okay, with Ridley it's somewhat okay because he's the god of death, as his
I mean,
universe calls
we
him.
already did the clone thing, so the only thing that's missing at this point is Twin Brother, maybe.
Or the actual Ridley gets regenerated, since, I mean, Metroid has a ton of futuristic
Already did
tech,
this with the
so-
clone in Other M, Jova.
No. I mean the actual Ridley, since the clone, as far as we know, was, yes, Ridley, but apparently more its own thing, essentially. I mean, like, you know, the OG guy, memory mind and everything. You know, I do love villains who are pragmatic enough to booby trap even the places no one would think a hero to come
See,
through.
that's the thing.
Because that's
having
actually where heroes would
having
come
lasers
through.
in the vent, if you ask me, would be logical, not even just for you know, intruders, but also to keep stuff like rats away. Anyway, there's the gimmick with Nefarious robots. If you let the minions, you know, being alive too much, they will coalesce into a bigger model and, you know, be more dangerous as a result. And obviously later on in the game, if you keep, you know, more on screen, they will become even more dangerous.
Copy Substation 7. Dispatching security team.
And yeah, when there are plenty on screen, you can expect, you know, you cannot actually deal with all of them, so someone will fuse at one point. And again, counterpoint, my Sonic Raptor is actually pretty cool.
Your Sonic Eruptor, aka a space frog doing its mating
Oh, I
call.
can get Mr. Zirkle now. So let's give a preview of that.
Mr. Zircon is the perfect companion for spontaneous treks through hostile alien environments. Uh-oh, looks like these guys are hungry for Lombax soup. Well, not to worry. Just deploy your Mr. Zircon, and he'll target any hostile entity.
Mr. Zircon is looking to kill you.
Hey, the eloquent. Mr. Zircon, available only at...
And in case you're wondering just how much the Insomniac is in the joke of we're using the guy who voiced Mario in Hotel Mario, one of his one-liners to defeat enemies involves talking about toasters. So yes, they know.
Of course.
And keep in mind,
That's why they cast him.
this was 2009, so this was where YouTube poops based on the CDI games were pretty much at their peak. So it's not too surprising they will know.
I mean, it is nice to see somebody escape the career black hole that was voice acting in Philips CDI games.
Again, the thing with that is that most of them were... Madular talked about it in a video as he made, but Quite already mentioned that most of them were unionized actors, voice actors from LA, I think. So they were guys that, even if they did not have a career, it's not like they were going to have it, being sunk by their CDI experience. And again, not all of them technically, but a good chunk of them still went on, not just Mark, and yes, there is obviously the whole joke of that for the Zelda CDI spiritual successor, as I mentioned, they did get the voice actors for Link and Zelda for, different characters, as a myth gag, mythology gag. Again, sadly, not the one of King Arcadian. I don't know if he's dead or not, to be honest. I haven't checked much of his biography or filmography, so maybe they were just not able to contact him, or maybe just retired. He did not sound particularly young even back then. I'm not too surprised. But still, it's not as uncommon, and to be fair, at the end of the day, probably because of the budget, the CDI games did not really have such a large cast, so, it's just a narrowing down on the options. And yeah, like I mentioned, compared to Tools of Destruction, what were considered side weapons, like Mr. Zircon or later on the Grubitron, they will get, they are now properly converted into weapons and they actually properly gain level. That means, however, that you need to basically let them loose, which is not too much of a problem, even in, in medium difficulty, because the enemies are not, well, not super spongy. We are not, a cakewalk either. So, as long as you're not immediately hitting them with everything you got, you can manage to have the damage be distributed equally.
You say the actor who played King Harkonnen, is it? I'll just check real quick because I found this. It doesn't mention that he's dead. I mean, it looks like he's still alive.
So what else he did?
Let's have a look. Mark Berry. Behind the voice actors only credits the CDI games.
It might be possible that's his only role.
But actually, no. IMDb, he's done quite a lot of live action stuff. Most recently, he was in an episode of The Orville, and he was also the chief of police in Blade Trinity.
Huh. Interesting.
The one that Blade kills running away.
Oh, what a timeline.
Yeah, being in something worse than the CDI games' story, damn.
Qwark, give me a status update.
This guy Vorselon means business. He says he'll kill us if we don't give him Alistair Azimuth.
Who is Alistair Azimuth?
I don't know, some rebel.
Alright, well find out what you can. If he's an enemy of Nefarious, he might be a friend to us.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, he could be worse.
Ow.
It could turn out he stomps on kittens.
Jesus.
I mean, that is pretty sick.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Also, Dave, I would like to remind you that, okay, I don't know how early it was in his career, but the role of King Harkonnen for his VA was such enlightening that I would like to remind you that in the official product, the take that they use for one scene involves the VA almost corpsing on the spot as he's reading his line.
Oh,
the whole "I wonder what's for dinner." You can physically hear him try not to laugh. Which, to be fair, yes,
dialogue like that, can you blame him?
It's such a stupid line. Yes, I get it. Not even Tim Curry was beyond that. I know, but you get my point. Like they did not have much of a budget to go with.
They really run into terror, Mr. Zurkon.
Well, Mr. Zurkon also will get his own family later on as the games progress. His wife will actually be voiced by Ali Hill. Lovely, I know. There you go, when you let the Max combine more of a perma mini turret, it's still doable, but it packs more firepower. Think of it like the actual sentry gun from the engineer from Team Fortress 2, basically. Just with a more fusion capabilities. I'm sure it's fine.
Fueling module released.
I mean, we're only just dislodging major components from the ship, so it's probably not a big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not like we're in it or anything.
I mean, to be fair, we're only here to rescue a bunch of prisoners. We can just, don't have to worry too much about the beats.
Power failure detected in auxiliary server room.
We shouldn't be friends.
Also, someone really likes the psychedelic effect of the lasers. And yes, I know, the easy joke is that the Sonic pre-movie also does something like that, but so far I don't remember if the Ratchet Clank games do have a type of web. Oh no, where was the reflector in up here in of your arsenal. So that those reflect laser, just not in this, you know, the aggressive way the organic suits do.
Makes sense.
What floor, please?
Detention wing?
I love how they try to actually have Ratchet perform different facial expressions when there's a dialogue happening. Also this. There's supposed to be a dialogue of Vorselon trying to interrogate the Fongoids, but unfortunately this is the moment where Mr. Zircon decides to really be chatty, so apologies for the debate. And no, I cannot just, you know, dismiss him.
Nope.
Oh well, I'm sure it was a very important conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Welcome back, Chief. Your weapon!
It's the Green One's sidekick! We're saved!
I knew you'd come for us.
It's good
They
to
left
see you,
Qwark's
Ratchet.
piece. They
Now
left
we need
Qwark
to
with his
find a way
pistol.
out. What's your name? The child.
They
Hurry
probably
yourself into
figured
this
he'd
laser
do
wall
more
as hard as you
damage to
can.
the heroes
Mister,
than
what
bad.
about the Versafuse? If you pull it out, it might lower the field.
Alright, child, stay
Thank
back.
you, little genius.
Did it! Everyone follow me. I'll get us out of here.
I guess Qwark is still good for pushing away doors. Oh, fuck's sake. Also, anyway, in case you're wondering, because I did not bother to mention, this is actually the game that had its arsenal being the primary moveset for Ratchet and Clank in PlayStation Plus Battle Royale, which honestly, yeah, makes more sense. It's the combination of different things, like some weapons that you haven't seen yet, also, you know, adapts very well to the fighting game styles, you know. Really makes sense, and this was the most popular game in the franchise at that point. The thing that is weird is that instead we had as the default outfit for Ratchet, if I understand correctly, it's the one for All for One, which, yeah, it's fine, but like he said a couple of times, it's just the brown, you know, mechanic suit. Sure, it's better than having the helmet. I don't remember what are his alts. I think the Snowman is one of them, but I don't remember all the other costumes. The only potential license stuff that PlayStation Stars Battle Royale had at any point was in early development, but it speculated that they wanted to have James Bond as a playable character because some of the games were released on PS2.
Boy, James Bond really had this weird.
And to this day, not many people know if it was actually something real or something that some of the leakers did made up.
Lock down the detention wing. The prisoners must not escape.
I'll open the doors. You get the Fongoids to safety.
Okay, anybody need to use the bathroom? I don't want to leave the loading bay and then hear one of you has to go.
Anyway,
we managed to get Qwark
successful. Who knows?
Yeah, but again, it's best if we just deal with Vorselon right now, so we don't have to, you know, have him later.
But yeah, it's like, you know, James Bond should really just blast into the games market, like, you know.
Loading bay doors are open. Launching escape vessel in 3, 2, 1.
Well, another thing to bear in mind was that Eon Productions, you know, who were running the Bond film series at the time, they were very wary of Bond in video games after how badly 007 Legends did, as well as Bond games just kind of degenerating into generic shooters.
Yeah, that's the reason
In fact,
why.
that's like the only reason that we're getting a big scale Bond game right now is because IOI managed to convince them.
Yeah, basically, it's been a lot. That's why it was a long time since a proper triple A Bond game. I don't remember what was the last one. If it was Legend or Rogue Agent.
007 Legends.
Okay, thank you.
That was 2012.
Yeah. And again, to be fair, if you're just having the games being devolved into TPS and removing most of the stealth component, yeah, I can kind of see why you should actually wonder why continue. Alright, still nothing new for now, so let's go to confront properly Vorselon.
Alright. Let's send this Lombax to.
I don't remember what his species is. I'm sure the wiki actually said it.
Pitiful creature, you've meddled in Dr. Nefarious' plans for the last time. Prepare to be killed by... Wait for it... Lord Vorselon!
Oh no, not Lord Vorselon!
To be fair, this is your first boss, obviously, and honestly, they actually covered to give the guy quite the moveset, so you still should stay on your guard. And remember, this is still just Ratchet, so you don't have the mobility options that normally Clank will give you. So you have to watch out properly. It's kind of interesting that because, again, for story reason, Ratchet is still separated from Clank, and it's gonna be quite a while before the two are united. Because, yeah, spoiler, I know, but that's way too obvious. The game actually plays with this, and technically adds a bit of artificial difficulty by making the fights, something you're not super accustomed to, which I do appreciate. So. That being said, as you can see, even on medium difficulty, this guy is still just a pushover.
Now you see me? Mr. Zircon is back.
There you go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll settle this another time. That's basically the running in with Vorselon. We will have to fight him at least one or two more times.
In the meantime, I'll stay with the Fongoids and find out what else they know about Azimuth. Qwark out.
Thankfully, Aphelion is just here, so we can just, scoot it out right now. Bye.
This game is a very weird... The series is a very weird thing with whether there's noise in space or not.
There you go, technically we can now jump to the next sector, but as you can see, there's plenty of different stuff to do outside of the main planet, potentially for cleanup later, and you get a reminder how many zonies are missing. So let's give it a bit of a look in the meantime, shall we? Basically, taking it a bit from Mario Galaxy, you have these small planetoids, which functions, again, also kind of like the ones from the second and third game. Just in a matter of having a micro puzzle on their own. Basically, again, think of it kind of like the mini dungeon from The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and the Tears of the Kingdom. Basically, each planetoid had its own way of actually, dealing with its gimmick, so that you can find the corresponding zoni or, different other type of treasure that you can find. In this case, how to open the door.
Well, let's see. Of the many ways we have found out how to do that in the Ratchet Clank universe, it could either be nice and mundane, or ranging on the threshold of insanity.
Or it's the classic moving the bolt, the screw. There you go. But, there you go. There's the Zoni. Get back here. Obviously, not all of these will be easy, so this is just basically to properly easy win. As mentioned, as the game mentioned in the previous part, the more zone you collect, the better the upgrades for your ship become, because they basically power up a Philion somehow.
Well, that figures. Reward more playtime or unlocking all that stuff was something good, though. That being said, is the difference between, regular and that negligible, or
it's better if you do it as much as possible, because the upgrades to Philion amount not just to cosmetic stuff, but better performance in combat, which obviously, if you want to do the side stuff, you will need to do it. Speaking of returning stuff, here's the smuggler again.
Now what is an upstanding citizen such as yourself doing way out here in no man's land?
Are you legit just stalking us at this point, bro?
Do you need any work done? Well, I mean, one of your eyes isn't looking too good. Maybe you could get some work done on your eye.
Only 1,000 balls, that's not much. Fine, let's do it. Basically, this is the equivalent, not necessarily of Ubisoft Towers, but kind of similar. You're basically given the task of destroying one of Nefarious telescopes, basically, which function as a radio beacon. You approach it, the bunch of ships spawns, defeat all of them, and then you defeat properly the beacon, and that clears that particular part of the sector. Again, it's an interesting approach, and I can tell you that at the very least, All for One doesn't do it, because All for One is basically one continuous journey in order to take advantage of the co-op. And Nexus, Into the Nexus doesn't really bother to do it. I don't know if the full frontal Q-Force does it, but I basically, I simply doubt that. And I don't remember exactly how Rift Apart properly handles this. So this is, as far as I know, the only major game that actually does this kind of thing, to change out the formula, which is kind of a shame. I kind of wish this particular, upgrade to the space stuff more. Thanks, buddy. But why, man? Oh, sorry. Well, I just found these schematics.
I don't believe it.
Of course there's a new Rhino model. The people at Gadgetrons are probably insane.
Far too dangerous, you see. I'll tell you what. You bring back the rest of these plants and I will build it for you. So long as I get to
And don't worry, this Rhino is special. You wanna know why? Well, it will be more apparent when we actually use it, but it was used in the trailer, so it's not too much of a spoiler. This Rhino actually has proper theme music attached to it.
Here's another one for all you lovers out there.
It's so badass that it comes basically with its own basically thing. Anyway, there you go. You basically get the upgrades as you collect the zonies, so you don't even have to choose from a list. It's very automated when you get down to it. Probably in order for the sake of not making you too overpowered from the beginning, but instead giving you balance things. It's a bit more similar to the ones from Jack and Daxter, admittedly. Alright, let's mosey. However, we will not reprise the actual immediately with the Ratchet next time. Instead, we'll check back what Clank is doing after the prologue. So see you for that.
See ya.